What's up, guys? I'm here today. I'm gonna bring you guys a little bit of tips for H1Z1. I'm gonna start a series strong going now from the beginning of the game, going to the mid game, going to the looting phase. H1Z1. I want to teach you guys what I've learned so far. First things first, when you come into H1Z1, you're gonna go to the lobby and you're gonna pop into the game and you're gonna be parachuting down, and you might not know what to do. I'm gonna give you guys some tips on parachuting in this video, and then I'm gonna show you guys looting phase in the next video and move on into like mid game and late game into the videos after that. So right now, here's the series 1 on H1Z1. Let's get to it. Right away, first things first, controls are A and D and your mouse. That's all you got. I don't know if there's W or S back and forth, but if it is on the parachute, it's very minute, and I can't even see any change when pressing A or D. I mean, sometimes my brain just presses them when I'm falling, but that's besides the point. The big movement abilities while you're falling in the air, parachuting down, are A and D to strafe left and right, and that's very, very strong. And another way to very, very strongly move your character in the air is with your mouse. Where you look kind of directs where your momentum goes, and with A and D, strafing as well also directs it. So you have these little notches you pull on, but that's enough of how you control it. Let's get into the types of controlling it. First type I want to get into is showing you guys just a straight shoot fall down. All you need to do is drag your mouse straight down, find where you want to go, and note there I'm holding A a little bit, I'm moving. I am doing a little bit more of an advanced technique that I want to show you guys later on, which I would call like strafing in the air left and right, using A and D and moving left and right with your mouse at the same time to kind of create some momentum. But really, I only get a 90-degree angle to make sure that I spawn relatively close to this window here where I can punch out and just jump in and start my looting phase. Pretty close. I would give that maybe like a B, maybe a C out of the landing. It wasn't that good, but it kind of gets you guys a concept of how just to fall straight down. And straight down offers you the best results when it comes to finding a weapon quickly before your opponent can get a weapon. Now, that's not always the best idea, because sometimes you want to be in a more assertive positioning. And a lot of times when it comes into team play, a vehicle is going to be the most important thing to get, especially in team play, because you want your team to be mobile. You can't be all trapped down, because if you're all trapped down, a mobile team's just going to surround you, right? And if a team has every angle on you, you can't really post up and shoot. And this game is really, really about posting up and shooting. It's about surrounding enemy teams and creating nowhere to hide for the enemies, right? So I want to show you guys something here. This is like a beginner's technique, slow falling. Slow falling is basically you just hold your camera up in the air like you spawned in after you found out where you are. You know, you want to look around, find out where you are, and then put your camera back to where it started. A quick way to do this is if you go into first person, it'll instantly put your camera back to neutral levels, and you can hold A and D to rotate back and forth, which can really mess you up, by the way, if you're just trying to go straight down. So don't go into first person if you want to just go straight down, because it'll just throw you right back up. But here's a good example of like there was no vehicle right here, and I seen that right away as I spawned in. I seen that there was no vehicle, and I'm playing fives. What I want to do is look for a vehicle around here. Sometimes a vehicle spawns at this camp. A lot of times there's a Jeep that spawns over at this camp. I seen the Jeep, so I begin a slow fall, which again, I'm gonna give this like a B, maybe a C on my landing, because I wasn't right on it. I wasn't as close as I wanted to be. I looked for some people. I didn't really give it myself too much. I looked for some people right here just to make sure, because I could still turn back at this point. And looking kind of messed me up, because now I spawned too far away. There's a person there with a weapon. But anyway, I end up getting in the vehicle, and I hit Control 3 or Control 4, and I got into the back seat. I got into the back seat without them knowing that I landed there. They looked around. They got scared because they heard a parachute, and they're running back to their team. This is a VOD I clipped. 500 or something people saw this. This was funny as heck. Man, this actually kind of went viral, you know? But, well, for me, at least, I'm a really small H1 streamer. She drives me over here. I end up getting a gun, getting out, and I ended up killing her because of this. Right there. Yeah, right there. I ended up killing her, the person with the revolver then. I ended up dying after that. But you guys get the point. Slow falling can get you very, very far away, get you a strategic advantage, and get you some reward for your team. Like if I would have landed there, many times I've landed there with a slow fall and ended up getting the Jeep because nobody slow falled over to it or took their time to go over to it. And it ended up getting our team a very strong position at that stage, because really where we spawned, our only options were either South City, PV, or Crossroads right there, the market, and the market's not enough loot for our team, and there was no vehicle there for us to have mobility afterwards. We would have been trapped in the middle of nowhere with no mobility. I ended up dying right away, which is the worst thing you could do for your team, but we were playing for fun at the time, playing with just friends. But I'm going to move on to a more advanced technique, which is, I would call it strafing, and 360 and 180. When you look straight down, you actually move forward a little bit, and you can hold left and right in order to strafe left and right. So if you want to pinpoint land right below you, you're going to have to pull off 180s. So you're halfway down in your fall, you might move too far from your objective spot, and you're going to have to turn around and do a 180. But if you do that too late, then you're not going to reach where you want to be, exactly where you want to be. I found a clip where I landed exactly where I wanted to be. I actually spawn here very often at the compound, and I end up getting really good slow falls and land perfectly where I want a lot of the times, which can really set me up for a lot of kills early game, especially when you're trying to control something that you didn't spawn relatively right onto. Now this is a cabin spawn. This is not the designated spawn. This is meant for cabins right here. This is not our designated team spawn. Our team is supposed to be going over to these cabins. I'm going to go over here to the compound instead. And what I'm doing here is I'm going left and right. But as you notice, I'm gonna rewind that. I'm not gonna rewind it. As you notice, what I'm doing, I'm holding A while I'm looking over to the left, or while I'm looking over to the right. I'm holding D when I'm looking to the left. So then I'm left strafing this way when my camera's out this way, right? So as I was looking over here, I was strafing this way, but then I'll rotate my camera angle even more, so I'm still holding strafe to strafe here because my designated spot, I want to land at this green tent. I know that these tents are always loaded with loot, so I want to land at one of these tents where nobody else is going to land at. So I'm still strafing, and I have my body lined up with this, and I'm going to hold D at this point and strafe to the right. And this is where 360 comes into play. Now you don't want to go, I would have went too far forward, so I wanted to land right at the entrance, which is right here. This is the entrance, and I pulled a 360 to make sure that I was able to land right there at the entrance. The finishing touch, I tapped A right at the end to make sure that I was really, really close to this entrance, and then boom, get in here, and I see no weapon, which is just luck. I grab the revolver, get a weapon, and I still have this other tent as well under control, and there's an AK. Mission successful. AK, helmet, another AK. I get the loot, I have control of this area, now I can fight, right? Landing in this game is so important, and it's the basics of this game. It starts you out in such a good position if you can get loot early on. If you can remove some key competitors in the match, especially when you're talking about competitive play and money games. If you can control a strong looting area really early and get some kills, drop some competition off, drop some actual threatening players, some really skilled players off the bat because of just cheesing them out of loot and landing in the correct spots, it could really change your game. You get some free bandages, you get some free scrap. And look at that. I mean, if I didn't make this play, I wouldn't be there right then. I wouldn't have had that. If I would have landed somewhere else, if I would have not landed right away, it might have been a different outcome at the end of it. I don't know how this ends. I was just playing solos in between. I think, yeah, I just keep going. I don't know. I actually have no idea how this ends. But that's besides the point. It was a decent game. For me, I play like a mixed aggression. I think this is where I die. Yeah. But that was a good run. Made 29th. I mean, I've done a lot better, but oh well. I mean, it kind of shows how far I went because of where I landed, what I chose to do, what's going on. It was a solo game. It wasn't like I was looking for a car right away. I was looking for a car. Didn't spawn. I didn't get the best of luck, but I made the best out of the positioning, which is really big in this game with the strategy of where you land. You can go so far away if you just look up. If you just raise your mouse up and hold A or hold D, or if you just go into first person, like I said, just hit your T button, go into first person, it'll instantly raise you to even levels again, and you can go really far left or right, A or D. You just have to be facing 90 degrees away from your target, left or right, and then hold A or D depending on which way you want to go to it. But that's pretty much all I think I can tell you guys about parachuting. I really hope that helps you guys out, and you guys can, stick it through. Get your good landings, get your good early game, get your good looting phase. Next video, I'm gonna tell you guys how to speed loot, where to loot, where are good places, where are bad places, and just kind of give you guys a little rundown on the strategy of the game that I've figured out so far. And I'm gonna continue growing on this game. I'm having so much fun with it, and I hope you guys are too. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm out. Peace.